to another segment. You know what? Let's socially distance. So let's take these off so we can at least see each other, and then you at home can see us too. Hello, welcome to another edition of Sip and Read. This month we are going to be introducing one of our new public services librarian, Taylor. And because we're introducing Taylor, I thought it'd be fun to get to know Taylor a little bit, so that even though you can't come to the library, you could say, oh, I know who she is when you pick up the phone and call. Taylor works at the information desk with me and other staff members to give you quality reference services. And as you know, at this point in time, we are only doing phone and email reference services. You can call the library and ask for a library book, and we will pull the book for you and bring it to curbside, but you can't come into the library. Eventually, we hope you will be able to, and then you could meet Taylor in person. But for now, let's get to know Taylor. Taylor,
hi.
Welcome to the library. I'm so excited to have you on board. I really, really am. You came to us after being at another library doing reference and programming, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was one of the best programs you did?
Oh, okay. So for Halloween, we had a screening of the original Nosferatu, the silent film, with a live organ player. His name was Jay Warren, and he was excellent. And we found out later that Jay is actually the uncle of the PR assistant at that library. So there was a family reunion there.
Yeah.
That was the biggest turnout for a program I ever had. It was so special to have it on Halloween.
Yeah.
Original horror and vampire.
We had him do a silent film movie night for us.
He's
that
fantastic.
Would be great. We should think about that for next Halloween.
He's fantastic.
Especially since everything seems to be doing virtual. So you deal with customers and patrons in all ages, because you used to do teens.
I did.
And adults.
Yes.
So any one-liner questions that you had that were like a stumper for you?
No stumps. I got a lot of parents who asked me about books for teens that don't like to read. But I also encouraged a lot of teens to venture away from the teen section.
Oh, good.
You don't have to be in the teen section just because you are 14 to 18.
Right.
If you want to go to the adult section, go to the adult section. That's totally fine. I'm not going to stop you.
Exactly. And nor would we. We want you. Enjoy the library wherever you may be. Great, great. So, obviously, like any other librarian, you're an avid reader.
Yes, I am.
What genres do you like?
So my background is actually in fiction. I got my undergraduate degree at Columbia College, Chicago, in fiction writing. So I've done everything. I have read historical fiction, I've read literary fiction, a lot of literary fiction. I love fantasy and sci-fi. I think those are two of my favorites. Fantasy, a guilty pleasure of mine sometimes, but it's a great, great genre to be in, especially now. There's a lot of really exciting new books coming out with Butcher and Briggs as well. And I just finished The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I actually have a copy right here. Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I've read both of her big books. I read The Night Circus as well. This is a great book if you love folktales, because she sprinkles in her own folktales and folklore into the storyline, and it all ties together up in the end, and it was very satisfying to read.
We do have that book. I know we do.
Yes, we do. Very
and we
popular.
had the other book you talked about. Well, that's cool that you read that type of fiction, because I am more the historical fiction, the adventure, the mystery. So we could complement each other when we're doing reference questions. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, that's a recent read, I'm guessing.
It is a recent read, yes.
So, do you have any book that sticks in your mind as an all-time favorite?
You know what? I'm glad you asked. I'm in love. So maybe my junior year of undergraduate, so it's been a while. But a few years ago,
old.
I know, I'm so old. When I was a junior in college, I fell in love with Mark Haddon's A Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Seen here. I have my own copies of me. This is one of my all-time favorite books. It's about a young a teenage boy named Christopher who has autism, and he discovers his neighbor's murdered poodle in her front lawn. It's so sad. Very, very traumatic beginning, but such a wonderful story. I fell absolutely in love with the character of Christopher. I loved being a part of his brain and how he thinks.
Well, that's interesting, his brain, because they write it so that you get the idea of what it's like to be autistic.
Yeah,
They really do.
And it's a very interesting topic because autism is a different color for everybody, and I get to, enter Christopher's mind and kind of experience the world the way he experiences the world, and I think it was so magical, and I absolutely adore that character. And it is one of my favorite books of all time, and I will reread it if I ever feel like I need a good read.
So what other books did you bring in your bag of tricks?
Oh yes, my
You
bag
know,
of
every
tricks.
librarian comes with a bag of books to look every day.
So I have two more all-time favorites that I'm going to give a shout out to two more Columbia professors. These books are available at South Holland Library. I checked. The first one I'm going to bring out is Bedrock Faith by Eric Charles May. I think this was one of the first books I ever read when I was studying fiction, and it's about a close-knit neighborhood, much as I've noticed, very much like South Holland. It's a close-knit Chicago neighborhood of some older generation, some younger generation, but everyone knows everybody, and they notice that one of their old neighbors, a boy who went by the name of Stewpot, moves back home from juvie and jail because he burned down his neighbor's garage X amount of years ago. And they remember in all of their memories that Stewpot was a monster. He was antagonizing everybody. He was threatening people. He had a pit bull named Hitler who also terrorized the neighborhood, and nobody is excited to see that Stewpot is back in town. However, Stewpot has turned over a new leaf and is now a newfound Christian.
Oh.
And there's this weird line of Stewpot now starting anew and having a new life, but now he wants to bring everyone in the neighborhood into his new life. And they're wondering is he still actually antagonistic or not? It's a wonderful story, wonderful characters, and beautiful writing, and a huge shout out to Eric Charles May because he was a big mentor of mine, and his signature is on the inside of that book.
Wow.
He was one of my first professors and author visits.
Really, how cool.
Yeah, he was a great one. Local author too. He's from Chicago. He has a history in Chicago, and if you ever get to meet him, he's a great person.
Does he do libros?
He could.
Let's look on that.
I hope
Let's
so.
go back to
I
doing
would love to
places.
bring
We
him
should
here.
bring him in.
He reminds me of Santa. He's so jolly.
Oh, how cool. I like Santa. Okay, cool. So we've gone from fantasy to realistic. Fiction, because that sounds kind of contemporary, realistic.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's in your next one?
My next one is another Columbia professor and another big hero of mine. This is The Boy Detective Fails by Joe Mino. This is my favorite mystery book, and it's also a little bit on the speculative fiction side, so if you're looking for something a little weird, this is a great read. It involves a little bit of sad trauma. There's a young boy who's beautifully gifted and genius, becomes a famous neighborhood detective, very Scooby-Doo. It's very, very close. In the city of Gotham.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes, but this boy becomes a very famous young detective. He's in all of the newspapers, all of his adolescence, and he goes to college, I think, at age 13. He's brilliant. And he has a younger sister, and she solves mysteries with him in their childhood, and they're all over the news. Well, when he goes away to college, his sister passes away, and he has to deal with the trauma of losing someone who was so close to him for so long, and he didn't realize what was going on. He was so absorbed into his life at college, and so to come home and for his sister to suddenly be gone, he can't process it the way he would normally process his grief, and so he goes on this adventure of solving the mystery of his sister's passing.
Oh, wow.
It's emotional, it's fun, it makes me laugh, it makes me cry, it's a gorgeous novel, and it has a wonderful recipe for angel food cake in the back.
Oh. Now, do we have that one?
We do only an
No?
ebook though.
So let's talk about that.
Sure.
Are you more of a give me the book, or do you do ebook reading?
I'm more of a book person. I do enjoy ebooks. I'm a huge fan of audiobooks.
You and me both.
I love me an audiobook.
There's nothing better than to get in a car after a long day and driving an hour and curling up. Well, not really curling because you have to concentrate on your driving, but listening to the book you're reading. It
Yep.
yeah. Cleaning house can be more fun.
Yeah.
Actually-
I did a lot of audiobooks during my graduate work for library school as well. I had audiobooks going on in the background.
Oh, I wouldn't have been able to study really good with that. I'd be too engrossed in listening.
Not writing papers, but anything else. Busy work, spreadsheets, math, projects, PowerPoints. I had audiobooks in the
I
background.
gotcha.
They sounded busy, so I was busy.
I
That's how did it. Yeah.
gotcha. So anything else down there? Or do
Yes.
we got it?
Last one. It's my current read. It's the weirdest book I've ever found. I fell in love with it the second I read the description. This is Hollow Kingdom by Keira Jane Buxton. This is such a weird book because it is not told from a human perspective. We are in the point of view of St, a domesticated crow.
No way.
And he experiences firsthand, or first wing, the beginning of a zombie apocalypse by witnessing the downfall of his beloved caretaker, Big Jim. He makes out adventures, goes out into the neighborhood for the first time, robs a local pharmacy, and gives Big Jim various pharmaceuticals, including birth control pills and Preparation H, hopefully to cure his ailments, but it's all for the mission of Big Jim. He wants to save his caretaker so much and find friends in a dying world. So this was an interesting read so far during a pandemic.
It sounds like it. Do we have that one too?
I think so. And if not, we could totally get it for you
Yes.
on interlibrary loan as well.
Exactly. That's something, as long as you brought that up, I'm not going to talk too long because you've gotten such a wealth of knowledge here already today, that if we don't have a particular book, we can get it from another library. It might take a little bit longer than it used to because libraries are doing things called quarantining, meaning they hold the book for a week, making sure it's clean and everything's COVID-free before we give it to you. Thank you so much for joining us on today's Sip and Read. As you know, we do a Sip and Read every month. This is our December issue. The next issue will be in January. We will be talking about our winter reading program, which is coming up. Again, perfect for you to do at home. We're going to be doing a simple reading program. All you have to do is read 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, reach your quota, and then as far as completing, once you complete it, you'll be entered into a drawing. But we have a lot of fun programs coming up at the library. So, check us out at the library's website, shlibrary.org. If you need any of these books or have any questions that you would like to ask Taylor, feel free to call the library and ask for her. We are doing work from home Sunday, so she's not here every day. So if she's not here, they'll transfer you to her voicemail, and I promise you she'll call you back. So from Linda and Taylor, be safe, be healthy, and open a book and read. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.